Alright, so in this video I'm going to talk to you about gradients. Obviously we do not have any gradients yet. I'm going to select all these objects. Let's see if we can do these all at once just for fun. And I'm going to say linear gradient. Alright, so that gives me a white to black gradient left to right on each one of these. Alright, that's just the basic one. You can also do radial, which goes out from the center. Radial obviously looks nicer on circles than on rectangles, as you can see. So let's take this one, the radial one, and we'll give it a circle and we'll give it a radial gradient. That makes a great button right there. You're done. Maybe you want to have it be a colored button, so you could say that it's going to be, oops, did not select the object first. Try it again. So now I've just made a little button for a page. Darker works better for making it look more 3D-ish. So there you go. Little ball button, etc. You can move that around, so if you want to have it be that the sun is coming from another direction, you can play around with these. Those become a little bit more difficult, but there you have it. You could also add in extra rings to it, but that becomes a little bit more confusing for it. Oh, if I made way too many there, let's do that. Did I unselect it? I keep not selecting my object. Try this again. Move this here. You'll see the center got really white. I'm going to add another one in. I'm going to make this one yellow. So it gets kind of weird looking then. It becomes more of a splotchy or sun splotch or burst thing where you're not really doing a 3D shape anymore. You're just kind of playing around with gradients, which is, perfectly acceptable. But if you're trying to make something that looks like it's maybe got a metal sheen or a sun sheen or something like that, then you might want to leave your radial one that way. Alternatively, on a rectangle, if you take that white to the middle and then put another one here, and it can be the black again, it can be another gray. I like to not go to the hard black edge unless I have that black stroke around it as well. I tend to go a little bit softer with them, or even into, come on, work with me, colors. You could give it kind of a brown sheen, rust. But anyway, this is how you make the center look like it has a sharp white line, like it's a metallic sheen again. And these little points here will actually make it more or less. Ooh, what have I done? Undo. These little gradient sliders up here, if I can grab a hold of this one, will actually give it even more of a fine point. So if you want to have it be a really fine little point there, you can drag those in close. The default is always halfway between each of the markers that it has, so you can do that too. Come on, little guy, grab him. You can do it on one side or not the other, so you get kind of this half and half look that way as well. There's a lot you can play around with in here. And obviously, if you do the same thing on this one here, it's not going to look quite as metallic. It's going to look more shaded because it is a longer stretch the other direction. It's just kind of an optical illusion for your eye, but it does still have a bit of a metallic look to it. And in fact, you can rotate this so that it becomes a side one that way as well. And of course, there are all sorts of things. You can add as many of these as you want and put tons of stops in and make it completely rainbow colored. Do we have any on here that are currently multicolored? Not currently, but you can. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stops in it. You can duplicate a stop, or I can click a stop in here that's dark and then drag it all the way over to the other side. If I was selected in here, it would actually help. So you can actually move these around. They don't have to stay where they were. So you can get some really interesting effects that way, moving certain things closer or further away from each other. Again, as I've said many times, a lot of this is just about playing around, so you figure out what it is that you like about it and what it is that you want to see, And trying to grab these little tiny things with a trackpad is not as easy as it could be. So lots of things to play around with. Again, I encourage you just to get in there and make mistakes. And remember, Command Z, undo, is always your friend. All right, and I will see you next time.